The town of St Andrews. For a while, the ecclesiastical capital of Scotland. Forever synonymous with the game of golf. The Old Course, which links the West Sands and St Andrews Bay to the town itself, is known as the home of the sport. And this year, for the 26th time, it was home to the Open Championship. The Royal and Ancient Golf Club had brought golf's oldest tournament back to the game's most famous place for the new century. Overseeing it for the first time was the new secretary.
Well, it's got everything this year, hasn't it? Millennium, St Andrews, home of golf, wonderful weather, huge crowd, and I think all of the players and all the visitors here are saying it's the most wonderful championship they've ever attended, and I'm sure we'll be crowning a worthy winner on Sunday evening. Tiger Woods, the US Open champion, was the overwhelming favourite.
If there's any two tournaments you want to win, you're going to want to win the US Open at Pebble Beach and want to win the British Open at St Andrews.
Only one man had achieved that feat. It was expected that Jack Nicklaus, the most successful golfer of the 20th century, would be playing his last Open.
I had a love affair with St Andrews from the first time I saw it.
What Jack saw this year was a longer but fast-running old course in immaculate condition. Its main defence, the 112 bunkers, had been re-vetted, making the hazards deeper and steeper than in recent years. Hell, Shell and the road hole bunkers would all claim their victims again.
They outdid themselves on the bunkers. They're very, very, very difficult. Toughest I've ever seen.
This year's champion would join a list of winners at the home of golf, which includes Nick Faldo in 1990.
If you're going to win an Open, you want to win at St Andrews.
And Seve Ballesteros in 1984. His celebrations remain one of sport's most enduring images.
That moment, 19th, it will always stay forever in my mind, you know?
Before the championship began, Ballesteros was awarded an honorary degree by the University of St Andrews for his contribution to golf. He and Colin Montgomerie followed Nicklaus and Gary Player in becoming Doctors of Law in a special ceremony in the Younger Hall.
Dr. Ballesteros. This is a new feeling. I used to be called Maestro Ballesteros, now it's Dr. Ballesteros. So I'm very proud. Spanish always on time.
In celebration of the 129th Open in Millennium Year, Seve joined 21 other past winners for the traditional photo call and Champions Dinner.
You are a kid. You are a good boy.
60-year-old kid.
Now you are a bad boy.
Guest of honour was 88-year-old Sam Snead, returning to St Andrews for the first time since winning the Open here in 1946, an achievement that made him almost universally recognised.
Man behind me hollered, "Mr. Hogan!" I didn't say anything, I kept going. "Mr. Hogan!" And I didn't say anything, I kept going, and they ran around in front of me. He said, "Mr." I said, "I'm not Hogan." And he said, you're somebody." I said, "You better believe it," and I took off.
54 years on, Slammin' Sam was back, not just to pose for the press and dine in the clubhouse, but to play the old course once again.
We are absolutely delighted to have so many great past champions joining us for our celebrations of the Millennium Open.
A 4-hole tournament was organised for the past winners on the eve of the championship itself. Pairings included Watson and Nicklaus, and Trevino and Jacklin. For the record, it was won by Paul Lawrie and Toms Weiskopf and Lehman.
Thank you for being with us on what I think we can all agree has been a quite unforgettable occasion. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the start of the 129th Open Championship.
On the first day, the weather was warm, sunny and calm. Scoring would surely be low.
I have the greatest of admiration for this golf course and the conditions, and it's going to be a wonderful championship. the gun goes, then it's time to play.
Woods clocked in at 9:30, but had a quiet morning at the office. The first 8 holes yielded no birdies, but no dropped shots either. His card was 7 adrift of the early leaders, but he was merely stalking the field. At the turn, the Tiger pounced.
Anytime you can start out any major championship with 8 straight pars, you'll take it. And I was able to make a nice birdie at 9 and a wonderful 2-putt at 10.
Woods had picked up his first 2 shots of the championship. More were to follow. At the par 4 12th, he pitched onto the green, a carry of nearly 300 yards. 2 putts from there, and he was 3 under par. At the long 14th, his chip for eagle shaved the hole. His putt found the bottom of it 4 under. His 5th birdie in 7 holes followed at the 15th. The infamous 17th, the road hole, stood between Tiger and an ominously good first round. With his second shot, his power enabled him to extricate his ball from the rough. His touch with the putter meant a bogey-free first round 67. Woods was top of the leaderboard. He would enjoy his lunch on day 1.
Today I played well and hit a lot of good shots, made a lot of good putts, and ended up with a few birdies coming in.
When you see Tiger at 5 under and you haven't even started your round, you know you got your work cut out.
Ernie Els set about attacking Tiger's lead in what little breeze there was on day 1. An outward 33 included a putt from fully 50 yards at the 6th. This shot was commonplace during the week. Els' touch, however, was exceptional. At the 10th, the South African managed the 379 yards in 1 hit, and 2 putts from there gave Ernie another birdie. Also scoring well was his playing partner, David Duval. The world number 2 was round in 70 shots, 2 under par. But it was a lesser-known American who matched Tiger's score. The left-handed Steve Flesch went round in 67, despite it being his first visit to St Andrews. It was Els who finished the first day on the top of the leaderboard, however. In the evening shadows, he played this sublime 6-iron to the 17th and snatched the overnight lead from the Tiger and Flesch.
17 must be the shot of the day because you can make any number, then walking off with a 3 and then, getting the lead. It's very satisfying.
A day of low scoring saw a host of players at 4 under par behind Flesch, Woods and Els. At the US Open, Woods had beaten Els by 15 shots, but after the first day, the South African held the advantage.
And if he beats me by 15 from now, it should be an inquiry.
Enquiries into the identity of Lee Trevino's caddy uncovered Willie Aitchison, who had carried the Mexican's bag when he won his 2 Opens in the early 70s. The pair reunited for this special championship to form a seasoned double act.
I'll be 61 in December, and I have no idea how old Willie is. But I tried to tell him that if he fell over out there, that these lips would not touch his. I'd kick him in the ribs, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to get. If he shaves that mustache, I'd blow in his mouth a little bit, yeah.
It's an honor to bring in James Tip Anderson and Willie Aitchison into the Caddy Hall of Fame.
Willie and Arnold Palmer's former caddy Tip Anderson both became Caddy Hall of Famers during the week, as did Peter Coleman, Bernhard Langer's longtime bagman.
That would fit, huh?
I've been very fortunate to have him carry my bag for such a long time, and we've won many tournaments together. We lost a few together as well, but we won quite a few, so hopefully there's a few more left in that bag.
We didn't lose the tournaments, he lost the tournaments. We won them.
While Tip and Willie have won the Open, it has eluded Langer and Coleman. They would be out to rectify that come the weekend. Elsewhere on the opening day, Notah Begay was also turning back the clock. Shades of Carnoustie 1999 as he went paddling, while Jean van der Velde appreciated the irony. Begay had led at one stage, but his aquatic exploits at the 17th were part of a triple bogey 7. We would hear no more of his challenge. Meanwhile, Sergio Garcia was round in 21 shots less than his opening round at Carnoustie. That chip dropped at the 16th. And at the 17th, he all but holed from a country mile for what would have been only the 5th birdie of the day at the road hole. Wearing a less happy disposition was Dr. Monty. The Scot would have another frustrating major. Of all the famous names attracted to Fife during the week, few generated more interest than the world's best-known cruise ship. The QE2 arrived off the coast of Anstruther in glorious sunshine. She played host to more than 1,000 golf fans, including one lucky competition winner.
My name is Charlie Kelly, and I represent the Craigwood Golf and Country Club. I'm really excited about being over here because there's a story, I don't know if it's true or not, that Craigwood has the record for the longest drive out here at the old course in St. Andrews.
Passengers going to see Tiger Woods and Jack, or Craig Wood's plaque, were ferried ashore and driven to the course. Unfortunately for Charlie, his search proved fruitless.
Not that I've heard. I haven't heard of any plaques as such, any markers to do with any longest drives at all.
So there's no plaque for the longest drive?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Charlie had the compensation of watching the leaders tee off. He was part of the biggest single day's attendance ever at the Open, as the fans bathed in another glorious day's sunshine on Friday. However, for Ernie Els, it was a miserable morning. With the weather again benign, he knew that those behind would make up shots. With his putter cold, Els could do no better than an even par 72. Others made hay in the sunshine. American journeyman David Toms shot a 67 in his first Open. This his tee shot at the short 11th. His compatriot, Steve Flesch, maintained his challenge, taking 70 shots to finish one behind Toms on 7 under. While Sergio Garcia's short game continued to astound. Halfway through the second round, these three headed the leaderboard. When the halfway cut was made, Gary Player had to head for home. The good news for him, though, was that the trousers he wore in 1960 still fitted. 4 years later, a young Jack Nicklaus arrived at St Andrews and took the runner-up place. By 1970, Jack had fulfilled his desire to win at St Andrews. Like Player, he would miss out on the weekend. but received the fondest of send-offs.
The reception that we got every hole today was very nice. The people were terrific. They let me know that they appreciated the good years that I've had in Scotland and gave me a very, very nice farewell.
As a parting shot on the 18th, Jack reminded the galleries of why he was the greatest golfer of them all. If the body can keep up with the desire to compete, he may be back. But for now, it's goodbye.
The chances are that I've probably played my last hole in the British Open. It's always been my favorite event, and I'll miss it.
As Nicklaus exited stage left, his heir apparent waited in the wings, ready to make the most of the calm conditions.
I knew if I could just go out there and play solidly and capitalize on my opportunities when I had a chance, then I could probably post a good number. And I just tried to be as patient as possible.
Tiger's patience wasn't tested for long. This for a birdie at the first. At the 464-yard fourth, Woods pulled out a 9-iron for his second shot. And this imperious strike brought another. Tiger was 7 under. Once more, the bogey was followed by a brilliant birdie. Woods' US Open and Masters victories came by record margins. At the Open, he'd have a 6-shot lead going into his final round.
The bigger the lead, I think the more pressure you feel. Now, I've played with big leads before, and I've been able to be successful, but we'll see tomorrow.
So the world's 2 top-ranked players would comprise the final pairing of the 2000 Open Championship. Darren Clarke would partner his Ryder Cup teammate Thomas Bjorn, with 5 Americans filling the next 6 places. The warm weather and record crowds brought a festival atmosphere to the town for the week. As the course emptied on Saturday night, so the streets and taverns filled. Numerous events were laid on, and restaurants were fully booked. Local shopkeepers reported record takings, and one entrepreneur even installed a walk-in humidor to cater for the American visitors' love of cigars. On the eve of the final day, the town was throbbing, although rumour has it that Woods had asked for the practice ground to be left open. Sunday, July the 23rd. The early birds reserved their spots for the day ahead. Woods arrived having managed to miss all 112 bunkers in each of his first 3 rounds. The work done to the hazards had been lost on him.
A bunker? I was in a bunker every day I've been here, but it was on a practice green.
Just in case, a designated greenkeeper went out with Tiger to tidy up, on the off chance that he might make a mistake in the final round. John Wells, the lucky one chosen.
I've never met Tiger Woods in my life, and it's great to be the one that was drawn out the hat. I've got to buy the guy who made the draw a big drink, I think, tonight. I hope I get to use my rake, because my money was on Darren Clarke on Thursday, and if I get to use my rake a bit, my bet might come in.
Meanwhile, the top 2 were preparing for the final act.
David and I are great friends, so we're going to enjoy each other's company and give it everything we have.
I'm going to be trying to win my first major championship. He's going to be trying to complete a slam, so there's going to be some pressures on both parties.
On the tee, Tiger Woods.
Woods was away safely down the first, but couldn't improve on his score over the opening holes. Of the early starters, there was an outstanding outward 9 by Paul Azinger. He covered them in just 30 shots. His 6 birdies included this at the hole across, the 6th. Ernie Els was back on track. Four birdies in the first 5 holes moved him in an upward direction once again in his yo-yo championship. Although still 5 adrift of Woods, he was at least giving a final shot.
When I made the birdie on the first hole, I thought, I said to Neil, my caddy, might as well give it another go and, see how many birdies we can make.
Darren Clarke also made early headway, with birdies at the first and third. Tom Lehman had been hovering around the leaders all week. On the final morning, he also improved his score. While Lauren Roberts, known for his touch with the putter, maintained his position by easing this one in at the 5th. Thomas Bjorn had dropped shots at the 4th and 5th, but his approach to the 6th inspired him to add another 2 birdies before the turn.
If I can swing the golf club like I have the last few days and putt like I have, I can show him that I got a little game going right now too.
And Duval did show his A-game in the early holes. He picked up a shot on Woods at the 2nd after this superb strike. And at the next, played another good approach to 15 feet. When he rolled in the putt, Duval had cut 2 shots off Tiger's lead. If anyone could challenge Woods, then it was likely to be his playing partner.
I'm going to go out there and play the best I can, and whatever happens, happens.
Responding to Duval's brace of 3s, Woods got one of his own at the 4th to regain a 5-shot advantage. After the first 4 holes, this was the position. Els and Duval shared 2nd place, and Paul Azinger was in the clubhouse at 8 under par. At the 5th, Duval had a glorious opportunity to shave another shot from Tiger's lead, but spurned the chance. Not to be deterred, however, Duval continued to hit the ball at his target. This arrowed wedge shot set him up at the 6th. And when he nailed his birdie putt at the 7th, he had halved Woods' overnight lead. Perhaps the game was back on. Also scoring well was David Toms. He had picked up 2 shots by the time he reached the 8th. The putt would drop, and so would the birdie attempt at the 9th. Playing the back 9, Fred Couples delighted the crowd by chipping in for an eagle at the 14th, the ball appearing to have both brakes and steering. For Els, the wheels came off once again around the loop. The par attempt at 11 escaped him. He wouldn't win his 3rd major.
The momentum I had on the front 9 just came to a halt on the back, and that's just the way it goes, and here you are.
Darren Clarke also ran out of gas at the turn and could do no better than even to the card coming in. So David Toms and Duval emerged as the only threat to Tiger at the halfway point in the final round. His lead had been whittled down to 3 shots as the final pairing turned for home. Duval's drive had missed the bunker by a yard and left him with no more than a chip shot. Woods, however, got to the 2-shotter in 1, but was a considerable distance from the hole. While his rivals both had birdie opportunities on the 10th, Toms missed his par putt on the 11th to withdraw from the fight. It was now match play between Duval and Woods. Duval's running chip finished 11 feet away. Now it was up to Tiger to get inside him. If Duval could hole, the pressure would be on Woods for the first time in the week. His lead would be cut to 2. By leaving his putt 9 feet from the hole, Woods had offered Duval a glimmer of hope. The last round had reached its defining moment. Misreading the speed of the putting surface, Duval came up short, leaving Tiger the chance to regain a 4-shot superiority. Four shots in front, 7 holes left. It would need a miracle to stop Woods now.
Go!
With the 11th halved in par, Woods had driven the 12th green, while Duval found trouble and needed a putt to save par. Duval's challenge was over. Woods holed out to go 19 under par and stretch his lead out of sight. Up ahead, Bjorn's failure to save par only confirmed who would win. The race was now on for second place.
It certainly looks like somebody out there is playing golf on a different planet than the rest of us, but when he brings his A game, he's just different class, and sometimes somebody will keep up with him because they're playing the best golf of their life.
John had spent a fruitless afternoon with his rake. Each time a player goes in a bunker, it's logged. But Tiger was keeping a perfect set of zeros.
None at all. The way he's playing, it doesn't look like I'm going to either. It's just a league above everyone else, the way he plays.
At the 13th, Duval finally put an end to John's unemployment by disturbing some sand. But for the American, the worst was to come. On the 18th, Fred Couples once again logged a good open finish. 9 under would give him 6th spot. While on the 13th, Duval's afternoon was becoming more miserable by the minute.
As good as everything turned on the front 9, that's as bad as everything turned on the back.
There was no doubt who would win the title. The questions now were, could Tiger hold on and beat Faldo's record total of 18 under par? And who would finish second? At the 14th, Tiger's drive found yet another fairway. Ahead at the 16th, David Toms holed from a distance to do some repairs on a dismal back 9. He returned to 10 under, where he would finish the championship. Trying to finish one shot better was Els, who'd parred in after the 3-putt on 11. This was his 3rd shot on the last. The victory procession for Woods, which in truth had begun on day 2, was now in full stride. Els finished at 11 under and clubhouse leader, but he knew he'd be playing second fiddle to Tiger for the 3rd major in succession.
I played brilliant at times and then very mediocre at times, so overall the whole week just above mediocre, I guess.
On 14, Woods' eagle putt slipped by. He'd almost reached the green again, and the tap in meant he'd birdied the hole every day. Tom Lehman, the 1996 champion, needed to 3 the last to join Els at 11 under, but wasn't up to the task. He finished tied with Toms. 3 rounds of 70 with a 68 was fine scoring, but not good enough when Woods is playing. At the 17th, Woods hit his poorest shot of the week, but could easily putt around the road hole bunker from there. With a 9-shot lead, it was of no significance.
I hit some bad shots out there, but they ended up all right. You need to have luck on your side.
Duval, however, found big problems. The road hole bunker, the most cavernous of them all. His backward 9 was turning into a nightmare. The engraver, however, was able to complete his work and go home earlier than ever. No playoff this year. As Thomas Bjorn approached the 18th, he regained his 4 to join Els in the clubhouse at 11 under and claimed joint runner-up spot for Denmark. If the old course had chosen a victim upon which to exact revenge for the low scoring, then it was David Duval. Having already played 2 shots and not escaped the hazard, he now found himself in a hopeless position.
I mean, I got to play it backhanded and all that, and, you know, as much as anything, try not to hit myself with it.
After an eternity in the pit, Duval finally extracted himself with his 6th shot. 2 putts later, he carded an 8. Bjorn safely made his par to tie Els, and all that remained was for Tiger Woods to make history. At the age of 24, Tiger Woods had arrived at the home of golf and, in a display that surpassed brilliance, had achieved the Grand Slam. There was no close finish, but nobody went home before they had witnessed history being made. Woods had confirmed his total domination of not only this championship, but of the game itself. 2 putts from the back of the green would give him a 19 under par total and would break Faldo's record. David Duval was home in an agonizing 43 shots, eventually finishing tied 11th, fully 12 shots behind his good friend. So with a record total, Tiger Woods won the Open by 8 shots in the end, and in doing so had taken the game of golf to a new level.
When David finished out and I finished out, I walked over to him and I just basically said, "You're a true champion and walk off like a champion."
Tiger walked off as a champion supreme. Ernie Els and Thomas Bjorn tied for second, with Lehman, Toms and Couples filling the minor places.
With a score of 269, the winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer for the year, Tiger Woods.
The captain of the R&A, Sir Michael Benalek, presented the trophy to the most fitting winner for the new millennium. The greatest golfer possibly ever had won the greatest championship at the game's most famous venue.
To have an opportunity to complete the slam here at St. Andrews and to have everything, ironically enough, come down to this tournament the Open Championship at St. Andrews, the home of golf. It's been a very special week, and to come back here and to finally win here, it's truly special. And I'm looking forward to next year and defending my title. Thank you very much.
Woods became only the 5th man in history to win the Grand Slam, joining Sarazen, Hogan, Player and Jack Nicklaus in golf's most exclusive club.
They've been the elite players to ever play the game. To be in the same breath of those guys, it makes it very special.